Hey everyone, just thought I would take a few minutes to provide a quick tutorial on what it looks like to use YouTube to help you simplify your transcribing process. So I'm currently working on my dissertation, doing lots of interviews, and I've found that using YouTube to help with some of the transcription really cuts down on my time that I usually take to transcribe, and it obviously cuts down on how much I have to spend, because transcribing is not necessarily cheap. And so here I will show you how to go about it. I'm using a MacBook Pro. I realize if you're not using an Apple device, it may look a little bit different, but it will look pretty similar to this, hopefully. So first thing, I had my M4A files. These are just audio files of the interviews that I did. What I did here is I opened these up in iTunes. So I just selected these and then opened with music. Well, it used to be iTunes. When I did that, they came up as these files right here, which is our M4As. Now I pressed Command, held that down, and then clicked all of these four, went to File, and then Convert. Because it's ideal to create an MP3 version because, well, for a variety of reasons, but one of those reasons is because it helps whenever you are actually transcribing this. So I use Transcribe, which I will show here in just a minute, and you have to use MP3s. M4As will not work. So create MP3 version. It takes like 10 seconds or so to create these, and then once you have created them, I am just going to save these in a little file over here that I call my interviews, the MP3 files. So that's done. Now what I can do is open up the actual place that I'm going to create the video so that I can upload it to YouTube. Here is just a standard template that I've been using. So I have needed three things. So first you need your audio file, obviously. To do that, you just go to your media up here. I just hit Command-I to import media. You can do it the long way, go into File and Import to, but this is just quicker. So one that I did this morning was the Black Lives Matter interview. So 14.7 minutes. I'm going to import that. Now it's right here. I'm going to drag that to my audio file. I'm going to shrink that so I can make sure these are all the same. So here, this is just a picture of my little brother when he was like 5 or something. You can use any picture, it's a picture that makes me laugh, so I wanted to use it. But you have to overlay the audio with a picture so that I can actually upload as a video instead of just an audio file. So, pro tip there. And also make sure it lines up to where they're the same length. So if it's longer, then it'll mess up. If it's shorter, then it'll mess up. But it will, if it's the same length, you'll be fine. And then I have this little identifier title. You don't have to have this, but it helps me just to identify which one it is. So Black Lives Matter. That just tells me which file I'm actually listening to. So then I will also shorten that. So okay, all those are the same size. We're good there. Now you need to actually download it as a file. You can try to upload it directly to YouTube. I wouldn't recommend that just because it is a little clunkier, I guess. But download it as a file. Black Lives Matter interview. I'm just going to delete those. You don't need them. Format, video and audio. Resolution. I mean, you don't really need it to be high quality. The faster the better, because, who has the time? Quality low, because the audio is still fine. It's good enough. And then compress faster, because, again, faster is better right now. So, next. Just figure out where you want to save it. I'm just going to save it in that same folder. Okay, and this takes a little bit of time. You'll see it takes some time to actually write the file. It exports it. This is probably one of the longest parts of the process. it shows like it's going to take a while at first, but then the time will die down. I'm going to pause this for now, and once it finishes uploading, I will explain the next part of the process. Okay, so started writing it around 11:45. Took about 20 minutes, so that's 20 minutes that I could spend doing other things like eating lunch, which is what I did, that I did not have to spend transcribing, and I still made some progress toward transcribing. So here's what I do next. So it saved into the folder that I asked it to as an MP4. So Black Lives Matter interview MP4 right there. That's what I need. So now I will go to YouTube through Google Chrome, and I will upload this bad boy. You can see I've been using Transcribe, but I'm going to use YouTube. Gotta load. Alright, so now upload video. You can drag or drop a file. I will just select it. Each one of my interviews, Black Lives Matter interview. Okay, so I'm going to change my title slightly for what I actually need to use it for. I have been saving these in my dissertation playlist. You don't have to. This is just a private playlist, kind of for my own benefit. Okay, not age restricted for kids. It's not made for kids. Video elements, I can just skip through this screen. And then visibility, I want to change this because it's specifically an interview and I'm not publishing this like for other people to see. Private, so only I can access it. Okay, and it says 0% processed. That's okay, I can still hit done. Standard definition of your video needs to finish processing before your video is private on YouTube. Okay, perfect. Close. Alright, so now that is pending. It'll take a little bit to process and upload, and even once it finishes processing, you still won't be able to see the captions just yet. If I click on this, went to subtitles, click on this, it will still, even after it finishes processing for the first anywhere from 30 minutes to maybe an hour or so, the subtitles here will just show that it's blank. You can add them, but that's not why we're here. But I'll show you what it looks like whenever it has finished processing. So once it finishes processing, here's one that I did just a couple days ago. Once it finished processing, here's what it looks like. So yeah, it finished processing, and then also within about an hour or so, usually the subtitles will publish automatically, and then you can go over here, hit download, and so I download those. It downloads as an SBV, I think, by default. If I click on that, oh no, there's no application set to open it. However, don't get discouraged because you can choose Microsoft Word pretty easily. It'll show you what will work for it. I just have been using Microsoft Word. Let that come up and show you what that looks like. Document left to right, yes, just do that, that's fine. Click OK. Okay, so now you have, this isn't the video that I just uploaded, but this is what it will look like once YouTube finishes doing it. So once it finishes, when you download this into Microsoft Word, it will look something like this. And so here, it's nice that it actually has all the timestamps and stuff from when these things were said, which is helpful. So this is the very start of the interview to about 7 seconds in. This is the phrase that was said. And although it's not perfect in terms of the transcribing, it is pretty close, and so a lot of my time when I'm actually listening to these and making sure I clear up any errors is not like having to write these myself, but just kind of cleaning up what YouTube has already done. So what I do, just kind of for my process, I copy all this, and then I have been using stuff just in a Google Drive document. I'll create a Google Doc. For the sake of example, I'll just create one and show you what this looks like. Okay, so here I paste to get the formatting in Google Docs, Command-Alt-Shift-V, just because I don't want it to look like the typewriter, but obviously you can do whatever works for you. It's taking it a second to paste. Okay, there we go. All right, and then, so now I have the whole transcript right here. And a lot of these I will actually just go through and delete because I don't need all of them. But some, if it's like specifically where a question is happening, I will like flag that and then say something like question 1, just like so I can go back to that later when I'm coding or whatever. And then I can kind of scroll through. I can see where like maybe another question pops up, and then yeah. Just keep doing that. But a lot of this stuff I will delete. That's probably one of the most time-consuming parts, is just deleting this, but I still prefer it to having to transcribe it all myself, and having the timestamps is nice. So last tip, once you have this file and everything, go to Transcribe. Again, just and this, even though I have Safari, it all works better in Chrome. Go figure. So copy. And then I have Transcribe right here, start transcribing. Just select all that and then paste. I just hit Command A and then Command V after I had copied all the text that I have. And then it took it a second because there's a lot of text, but now all of that's there. And I can start going through this. What's nice about Transcribe is that it lets you pause and play, that you can have like an audio file in here to kind of go along with your transcription. This one was gender pay in sports. So I could, here's my audio, I can press escape and it will start playing. I can hit escape again and it pauses. I can rewind with F1, F2. I can even slow it down or speed it up, which is nice. And so really all I have to do at this point is just, I pretty much play it on normal speed. And then as I listen to it, I will correct words here and there just to make sure it's all accurate. But really definitely cuts down on the time that I normally spend transcribing. And so I was able to transcribe 4 interviews in just like an afternoon, basically. So normally that would have taken me probably a full day. So anyway, hope this helps any of you who are trying to do some transcribing work yourself on a budget. Yeah, thanks for watching.